Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I am Piglet here once again, and I'm Duffy Duck here. We are back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games for the Nintendo Wii. So, last time we have managed to get things started with the Team Festival mode while going through the first day all the way up to, or in this case day 1, all the way up to day 4. And during day 3, we did manage to able to beat the likes out of King Boo for the third and the final time for the sake of this Let's Play in Alpine Skiing Downhill, of course. So today, we're about to be continuing things on in Team Festival mode while going through day 5, and I think all the way up to day 7, because as far as I'm aware, in addition with how the fact that we actually come across into the exact same amount of days as before, I think eventually it's the fact that some of those days might go a little bit more longer in comparison to the forms of how it does in the singles version. So, yeah, we figure we might as well mention it, but more about it until then. So, either way though, let's get started with the 5th day, which we have both training sessions, which there are obviously curling and also figure skating. So either way, yeah, just like Alpine Skiing Downhill is the fact that that will be the only time we can able to experience figure skating for just once, until later on in day 7 that we are able to actually come across into a different rival. Or to be more accurate though, Duffy, is the fact that, well, we might as well come across into the exact same amount of rivals, but in the forms of the different days and stuff. Like, obviously in day 3 it's always King Boo, but whenever we get to the forms of day 5, as you can clearly tell, that we might actually come across into a different rival as opposed to E123 Omega, ever since in during the forms of speed skating 500 meters, which we'll point it out whenever we get to the actual rival battle eventually, after we're done with those 2 training sessions, of course. So yeah, to kick things off, we have curling, as you can see right there, which, to be honest with you, not much different around here, so even then we can do the exact same thing as before. So, naturally speaking though, is the fact that, except now we're going to be playing as, well, the Mario characters based off from Super Mario 64 DS, because, well, it was entirely an idea, because either way though, I noticed that some players always attempt to go for their own teams and stuff like that, which I have no idea why I truly explained about this right about now, but still. So obviously today's day, according to this uploading schedule for this point, is that today is the forms of, I would say it's the 20th of January in 2020, so there's not much anything else going on around here, apart from the fact that, well, usually we're going to do the exact same routine as before for the actual uploading schedules as usual, but it wasn't until when we get to the 16th of February, which I figure is actually on Sunday for this year, and as a result we need to celebrate ourselves within the 9-year anniversary for our channel since 2011, despite with our old original Let's Plays, most notably with Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is no longer there. Well, usually because of how the fact that with the bad quality, as well as bad commentary as far as I'm aware, just because we keep on borrowing the exact same amount of dialogue from other YouTubers. Yeah, which is a little bit too strict and lazy back in the day for our parts, but thankfully though, we did manage to able to come across into our idea for able to realize about whatever stuff we like to discuss upon, so yeah, that's curling, as you can see right there. The exact same objective is still there, like we need to deliver, you know, obviously 4 stones into that specific target, but, you know, or in this case 2 stones as far as that thing actually tells us to. So anyways, now let's move on to figure skating here, and as we mentioned this before already, this will be the only time we can able to go for this particular event, just for once, because you know we've already come across into our main event on this particular event already during the forms of the, you know, the singles festival mode, likely 4 times in a row, like 1 time in training mode, and also battle against with Rouge, and also same applies for a short performance, and not only that, in day 13's real free performance. So we'll skip the rest of this because we already know how this goes. So yeah, let's get to it. But then again, the exact same deal from here, just reached about 30 points and stuff like that for that nature, so yeah, talking of which, actually, is the fact that with, you know, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, recently, during the actual announcement, that, you know what Tiana keeps on ranting about with, all these, Mii outfits and stuff like that? I will say, they do look pretty cool, though, especially noticeable with Cuphead, especially, which, either way, because of that, though, much like the forms of, the Sans Mii costume from the likes of, Undertale, it gets like a very old music in the background if you manage to purchase it, which is pretty cool though, because that way it gives us an opportunity we can able to customize our Mii onto the Nintendo Switch, and then just simply name it Cuphead while we do so already. So, but even then though, is the fact that because, you know, both Sans and especially noticeable with Cuphead, they are both gunners, because, you know, usually Cuphead usually has like one specific ability that he has. Same applies for Muckman as well, which, you know, because of that though, yeah, that's what I can say about it. And aside from all that though, is the fact that they did manage to include the price tag for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC Fighters Pass Volume 2 so far, and it appears to be a lot more expensive than the forms of how it does it from the first volume of Pass, because obviously because of how the fact that they actually brings us into 6 fighters later down the road, until when it gets to a point until in 2021, so around that time that will be our 10th year anniversary for our channel. Yeah, for our YouTube clarities and stuff, which might be a perfect opportunity to able to celebrate it with that specific stuff. I don't know if they're gonna do Volume 3 though, but then again, we'll find out and see what happens there until future years has become, so alright, so we got another rival here, so let's see what that's gonna take place in Bobsledge. So either way, let's go ahead and dive right in, so let's see what we got. Look everyone, a huge bullet bill just showed up at the bobsled course. It looks like he's challenged your team to a match. Good luck. So now in day 5 we have a different rival for once, which appears to be by the forms of Bullet Bill, or Big Bullet Bill as we say. Because of that though, it might play out exactly like how it did as in the Skeleton event, except, well, obviously the team of 4 is going to be able to compete against with that Big Bullet Bill itself. So either way, even though it takes place on the exact same location as before, so there's no need to able to talk about more about it. So yeah, while at it, the loading screen pops up from time to time, which, either way though, it doesn't take that long to load it, regrettably. So anyways, let's get to it! So hopefully we would able to catch up towards him, well, during that time period, so I suppose another thing I would like to mention about that specific, worth mentioning though, is that there's actually that specific shop that we'll, discuss more about it until whenever we're done through, day 5 first, so yeah, it's not much I can just try to confess it for ourselves at this point. Actually, kind of think about it though, Piglet, is the fact that we might eventually as well able to actually end off this Let's Play, enjoying around in a perfect timing before January is about to be finished, which either way, it doesn't take that long to able to actually finish that particular Let's Play, kind of think about it, which can be also same applies for, you know, Super Mario Kart that Mickey is about to be going back into. And I really don't know about the forms of Kirby's Return to Dreamland per se, because obviously that Tiana is about to be going back into this and to end at some point in tomorrow, especially noticeable on Thursday potentially, but either way though, we'll find out and during that time period will come, so. But anyway, we claimed first place and we managed to beat the likes out of the Big Bullet Bill of course, so naturally speaking we get ourselves our 4 points, so top notch that will be. And eventually we'll come across into the bobsled event until later on, until specifically, in day 11 possibly. So either way, yeah, that's pretty much that, and we got the high speed emblem by exceeding 100 km per hour. speed, and then that way we can get ourselves the emblem for reals. So, yeah, that's cool and all. And that pretty much takes care of day number 5. So, and I believe that since after all we are moving on to day 6, and in the future until day 14, it might be still exactly the same thing as you normally do from this the singles version, except, well, obviously it's all team-based and everything. So, usually in day 6 and day 14, that once again we have to take a day off, and then after all that though, we're able to receive store tokens in the process, and then we're able to start doing some shopping. So, to see what there are some new items they actually did manage to sell at for this point. So, but yeah, let's just see what happens there as soon as we're able to jump right in. So, yeah, as soon as you're able to think about it, it's the fact that obviously we can able to purchase some more items for each shop. And, oh, what do we have here? We have ourselves the secret shop, which this is used to be the unlockable thing right there, which in order to actually unlock this though, is the fact that you have to able to actually just to complete festival mode for the first time, which thankfully though it only happens just once. Now when you're done once already, then you are good to go when it comes to the forms of that specific matter. So you can buy all sorts of stuff in the forms of the secret shop, such as, well, some decorative items like the item box statue, as well as those the character flags on the actual street. And also, as you can tell, that we got ourselves the actual the emblem representing the actual customizable things itself, which is all randomized every time you're able to actually participate in kinds of stuff like this, which kind of does the same thing for how it does it in Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games, by the way. And also, the actual blue coins chest thing here, which, either way, there are 5 blue coins scattered all over in the forms of several of these events. However though, the only way you can able to go for these blue coin challenges, which there are Dream Alpine, Dream Ski Jumping, Dream Ski Cross, and also Dream Snowboard Cross, Dream Short Track, and finally Dream Bobsled. So, yeah, something's worth mentioning for this point anyway, because otherwise though, then you would able to actually participate in it for some sort of like an ultimate challenge to the test by simply able to obtain all of these blue coins in some of those 6 events that you have to obviously try to obtain them. If you somehow manage to able to go ahead and you know, trying to collect all the blue coins, the only rewards you can get is basically just the actual emblems that you're able to actually achieve from, which we're probably not going to do that for the sake of this Let's Play somehow, because obviously you guys should probably already know about this at this point, because otherwise though, you simply get the emblems when you're trying to complete those kinds of stuff. So, let's see if there's anything new at the boutique and stuff, so let's see what's for sale. So obviously we've got, in the suits department, we've got Dry Bowser suit, which I guess we might as well purchase that. And same applies for Charmy B suit if we manage to able to accept that. Although then again, we're probably not going to use the Miis for this Let's Play, because normally, we could normally try to able to select the Miis. The only time we only select Miis is of course the Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, because that game has a lot of emphasis on Miis using, and only for once in the original game. So yeah, just because of that free circuit mode, as you guys should probably already know about this ever since in 2016. So anyways, let's go ahead and purchase a Luigi banner and also Luigi decal, and I think we should probably leave the patterns as it is, because otherwise though, we're just probably not going to waste our time during the actual shopping to begin with. So yeah, as you can see right now, we actually managed to unlock ourselves the actual glider, which either way, then again, in order to actually just to unlock this customization glider, is that, well, you have to make sure you need to able to participate in it for, well, just stream gliding. It doesn't matter what position you're in, despite I'm not very good on that specific event. To me though, probably because of how the fact that, well, I just seriously just don't know what I'm supposed to do. I do know how this works, but it's just that I'm not very good at it, so that's complete understory. Anyway, so that's day 6 out of the way, and now let's jump right into day 7. So, yeah, let's see what we got. So first up, we have another training session, but this time around is actually a new event, which is short track relay, and also the main event of Team Launch Hills. So either way, let's get to it with the training session first, just like before. So either way, it plays almost exactly like how we did on short track 1000 meters, except, well, the noticeable difference now is actually in team formula. So either way, because basically what that is the fact that, well, we'll explain more about it as soon as we're able to jump right into the actual main event itself. So yeah, it takes place in the exact same location as you remember from short track 1000 meters, except, well, just a different stipulation. So because, you know, there's no all 4 players all in one specific track this time, and also because the actual loading screens keep popping up from time to time, but it doesn't bother me that much though compared to Sonic 06 for the most part, because well, just because of how the fact that I'm glad that the Wii did manage to able to have a short load times and stuff like that, which I appreciated because, well, unlike in certain other games as I mentioned earlier, which are Sonic 06 and especially noticeable with the occasional Mario Party 10 with some bad loading times aside. But either way though, we'll just talk more about it whenever we do our redo Let's Play of Mario Party 10 in the future. So anyway though, so as you can see, in order to actually just to progress for the actual track itself, or the actual race I should say, that at certain points in lap 2, 4, 6, and I think it's like those 3 laps potentially, that we need to able to keep on like switching players from time to time. But here's the thing, since your speed will be locked, just like the forms of how it does it in specifically in 4 times 100 meter relay from the original Olympic Games, as well as London 2012 Olympic Games, and especially noticeable with Rio 2016 and recently Tokyo 2020, your speed will be locked. So this means about the fact that you will be okay as far as you would not able to get screwed over by the timing department. But in here, the entire objective on the training session, as you can see, that we need to get ourselves a great rating or better before you're able to accomplish the training session. If you get good or miss, then you'll instantly fail. So just want to keep that in mind. Alright, so naturally we got all 3 perfect. So naturally we'll get 4 points in time. So, and to be expected that we actually got ourselves 8 laps as opposed to 4 laps as from before. But then again though, because this is all team based we're talking about here, so anyways, let's use the special move at the end. So just in case we can able to actually just cut off some curves so easily for that rate. So there we go.
Training completed.
But at least it's much more easier than the forms of how it does it on that coins challenge though, because sometimes I just keep on simply missing them sometimes. Yeah, anyway, now let's move on to the next event or the last event on Day 7, which is of course Team Launch Hills. So naturally speaking, we need to jump right in. So, however though, the biggest main differences between the individual version than the likes of how it does it on, well, obviously we've already mentioned about this before, that we have to go for this with all 4 characters, not 2 jumps this time around. Yeah, because it's pretty obvious, because this is all team-based, we are usually going to be going for this. So alright, so let's see what we got. So Team Shadow is in the lead right now. So Team Shadow we got is Bowser, Amy, and Knuckles, which is kind of a weird combination, I'd like to say. So anyways, here we go with Mario to begin with, on the actual leader for the actual Team Mario 64 DS. But then again, the best strategy for this event right there is that, again, do not use the actual special move on the start, because you can only use the special move when you just simply jump in midair. So even then though, like we're going to show this to you right now, we could able to actually just do that, and then, whoa, look at that distance there. That is really, really good. 142.62 meters, that's impressive. Yeah, especially noticeable how the fact that we need to always keep our balance at at all times, basically. Because if you lose balance for quite a bit, then you probably get lesser points than before. But regardless, we got 160 points in total, so top notch how it goes. So yeah, we're now in first place right now, but it wasn't until when we get to the second character, which is of course Luigi's up next, then obviously it's now Dr. Eggman. So either way, well, Team Dr. Eggman, I should say, was actually in the lead. Kind of think about it though, it looks kind of weird that most of the characters are almost made out of plastic most of the time, but it doesn't bother me that much though, unlike the Xbox Live Arcade version of Sonic Adventure / the PSN version of Sonic Adventure on the PlayStation 3. Because most of the time, I just think that the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure does have a better lighting, as well as the, well, just better lighting in general. Because there are a few times that in the DX ports just made anyone else in the, well, any other character for that matter, just sometimes made look like made out of plastic, which usually just becomes distraction. So then again, we're just most likely nitpicking for that point right there, but I digress. So let's see how we did for Luigi. We actually did pretty much better than the informs of how it does it from the training session, as you guys should know. And yeah, that's what I can really compromise with. I wonder what the Team Sonic's members of characters that they've got. We got Silver, Daisy, and Metal Sonic. Oh yeah, we've already pointed things out right away. And as far as Team Dr. Eggman, as far as we can concerned, obviously he got Peach and Waluigi, and I believe, well, I don't know how do I explain about that right now, because obviously because of how the fact that we just got a little bit too fast for that point, so. Anyways, now it's time for Wario's turn to able to do some nice little ski jumping performance, so. Although this will be the last time we're going to be able to come across into a ski jumping as a result, because otherwise, then we can move on to, well, generally speaking, we still got Team or Dream ski jumping later on. Specifically, I don't know what day that will be, but at least I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, me too. Especially noticeable how the fact that we actually be super hyped about with those coming back into those Dream events once again. So 151 points and something. Okay, so now it's time for Yoshi's turn. And if we double check on the leaderboards quickly, we instantly at second place. So yeah, it seems pretty interesting to say the least. Especially that it doesn't matter if we keep on screwing things up or if we go for a high score new record, but then again, we'll see what happens there if we do our best on that specific final jump for, well, for Yoshi. Alright, so here we go. See if we can concentrate on this point right there, and hup, there we go. That's all good start. Well, that's pretty swell if I should say for myself. And we, sure enough, were able to get another great distance there, like 133.80 meters and stuff like that, which is kind of impressive though, but and I think we'll guarantee to get ourselves our new record. In addition with that, we get ourselves a fantastic gold. So yeah, how's that for that? And I'm pretty sure that we might get an emblem for that. Well, it doesn't really matter, you can get the emblem from either the individual version or the team-based version, but then again, we'll find out and see what happens until whenever we come across into this next screen transmission, so yeah, that's how it goes basically. So yeah, and every time you go into the team festival mode, sometimes the announcer always says like special team, because it's all likely customizable, because compared to the forms of the single match mode, it always just goes like Team Mario or Team Sonic or whatever. So let's see what the emblem represents with. So we got the perfect balance score and a jump of 150 or 130 meters or more in the actual large hill, but then again, it doesn't really matter if it's on individual or team version, so then again, it really does not even matter to us though. And that pretty much takes care of, oh wait a minute, we got a rival, aren't we? Which this time around though, Daffy, is gonna take place in figure skating, of course. So let me guess, it's Rouge The Bat, isn't it?
Better behave.
If you ask me, your figure skating training the other day left a little something to be desired. what do you say? Do you think there is anybody on your team that can match my elegance and grace? Well, I don't know about you, Rouge. I really don't know. Okay, if you don't know already, this is our jump cut for this point. Not because of how the fact that we accidentally failed on that, but it's most likely because we did manage to able to record that Rouge's performance from earlier ago. However, though, our capture card just somehow glitches up, which it's nothing to do with the actual screen itself. Actually, we'll talk more on that on her performance first.
Here I come.
So yeah, what happens is though, is that during Rouge's performance on the first attempt of the recording session, if you can tell, for whatever reason, our capture card just somehow switches over to HDMI mode, and I was like, what happened to our capture footage on that specific performance right there? Which we'll point it out whenever we get on that specific scene that we have actually got into with that specific footage, which we didn't fiddle around with it or anything like that. It just happens to be automatic all by itself, which either way, I have no idea how that caused it to be happening, but either way though, we'll just point it out as soon as we're able to actually just to see what the actual scene we actually got into for that specific recording. So eventually though, especially noticeable how the fact that this is all team festival we actually still on about. Eventually, yeah, this is the part right there. When it gets to this point right there, it instantly cuts out, and then as a result, we lost any of the footage from the likes of that specific, almost nearly towards the end performance. So, yeah, it's kind of sucks because of how the fact that, well, we did have a Roxo Game Capture HD Pro for almost about 5 years for this point right now, ever since in 2015, after the actual, the first ever capture card has been, well, destroyed, ever since during the forms of 2015 potentially, speaking of that particular year, but hopefully though, it will not get that much issues, I don't think, so. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's see what her score is at the end, and it looks like she got about an exactly 50 points. Hopefully we're able to actually beat her enjoying that specific score in mind, so shouldn't take too long though, especially noticeable this is once again Swan Lake choice, and yeah, looks like Yoshi, Luigi, and Wario can't catch up, so it's up to Mario to, well, just to beat her, so yeah, that's how it goes basically, because after all, he is the main mascot of the Mario characters basically, or the Mario games I should say. Speaking of Mario games actually, we still have no sign of the forms of something new for Mario for 2020. Well, obviously we've got one big thing in during the forms of 2020 so far, which is of course the Super Nintendo World's amusement park in the forms of Universal Studios Japan, which I'm pretty excited about because even then, although I don't really know if we're able to actually go there potentially, and I suppose that another thing I'd like to mention is that and I suppose that Tiana has not even mentioned about that ever since in Kirby's Return to Dreamland Let's Play. What happens is though is that the actual release date for specifically for Super Nintendo World to be opened in specifically in Universal Studios Japan, it will able to actually be released around roughly the exact same I would say a possibility of time of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics starts from the forms of that same country, which appears to be on summer 2020 release. So I don't know which specific day that will be, but then again we'll find out until at some point in June and probably in July, but then again though, it really doesn't matter of what time doesn't manage to happen though, so anyway. And I think we did instantly beat her after all, because after all we got more points than her, like 50 or so points or anything like that, so. And I guess I should probably mention about this right now, this will be the last time we're going to be seeing figure skating for this throughout somehow, because you know, later on though, especially noticeable in the continuation of this specific Team Festival mode, that we might actually still come across into the forms of Dream figure skating. And oh yeah, because that reminds me, in a singles version of the festival mode, that we've already talked about the forms of the Sonic's world. Yeah, because I figure we might as well go for Mario's world instead of Sonic's world in a team festival mode this time around though, because, you know, we can figure we can show off different varieties when it comes to the forms that how this game offers us to, so... Anyway, so now we're on to day number 8, where, you know, Toad actually tells us how the results are going. So it looks like we've already got 1 gold medal in the Olympic event. And we got 2 first place medals, which is pretty flawless. And we got 66 points in total, so I don't think anyone else can able to catch up anytime soon. So even that, yeah, that's how it goes basically. So I guess we should probably end things off at this point here. So join us until Wednesday for more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. Is that we're going to be taking on day 8 all the way up to probably day 10. So because we just want to keep this a little bit more shorter minimum as it is. So either way, we got a training session, which is ice hockey and dream snowball fight. So see you guys on Wednesday. Later, fellas.